Hi and welcome. I'm happy to share with you the new release stamps for Technique Junkies for April 2022. New release stamps are 15% off until April the 8th. Here's a snapshot of all the new stamps that are in this release. I am going to be walking you through all of these new release stamps right now during this video. If you're like me and you love everything you see, there is a special bundle called Gotta Have It All. This bundle is on sale for $90.64. It's normally $113.30. You save $22.66. If you're heading over there to shop right now, just please remember to put in the comment section that you heard about this through Tracy Schultz. Thanks for doing that. Let's get started. First, we have this beautiful background called Wisteria Background that features several blooming wisteria sprigs and leaves. This would be the perfect background for any occasion. Birthdays, get well soon, thinking of you, sympathy. I created an all occasion card by pairing it with a previously released stamp set called Dream, Hope, Wish, Wonder. I'll have all of these linked below in my description box so that you know how to find them. I like the Dream, Hope, Wish, Wonder stamp set because it gives you the versatility of using all four words as I have on this card, or just using select words one at a time. Next, we have a gardening inspired sentiment stamp. This is called Born to Garden. It's brand new from Technique Junkies. And the sentiment is super cute. It says, "Born to garden, forced to work." I know a lot of people who love to garden and would agree with that sentiment 100%. For my card, I paired it with a previously released stamp in the background that's called Secret Garden. And I just used green ink to ink up that background and to also ink up the sentiment. Except for the little bumblebee, I used some markers to color in my bumblebee so that it wouldn't be green. I've never seen a green bumblebee before. How about you? I'm going to pull out the Secret Garden stamp so you can have a look at this. Again, this is not part of the new release. This is a previously released stamp. The previously released stamps that I'm showing you, you can save 10% when you use my discount code TJ10 Tracy. That's TJ10 TRACY. I'll have that listed in the description box below. I love how the Secret Garden background stamp pairs so well with this brand new sentiment stamp called Born to Garden. As I was looking at this sentiment stamp, I thought other people might have other hobbies that would go well in case they wanted to expand upon this in the future. Something like Born to Fish, Forced to Work, Born to Craft, Forced to Work. But here we have Born to Garden, Forced to Work. I have a friend who loves gardening, and I can't wait to share this with her. She's going to really enjoy this. Oh, and by the way, before I move on to the next stamp, I do want to show you that this little stamp set, Dream, Hope, Wish, Wonder, each one of these little stamps are individual, and I have used them on countless cards for Technique Junkies and for other designs that I've created. They really are just the perfect little addition when your image on the front of your card is just beautiful enough just the way it is, but you just want to have at least a word on there that inspires people. And I think this is one of the best little stamp sets that are available. I will have that listed below in the description box so you can find it if it interests you. Oh yes, speaking of flowers, and along the lines of a floral theme. This is another fantastic new stamp. This one's called In the Meadow, and it features some very delicate, beautiful flowers. When I have an image like this, I immediately think about what kind of backgrounds can I create, whether it be sunrise, sunset, just different colors of sky. And so that's where I went with this stamp. I actually made 3 different cards. This one is using pan pastels, and I will tell you that sentiment, Thinking of You, is part of a set called Difficult Time set of 2. It says thinking of you during this difficult time. Here's a picture of it. It has actually 2 different sentiments: sending caring thoughts during this difficult time and thinking of you during this difficult time. This is another stamp set that I pull out over and over again and use it for people who are experiencing the loss of a loved one or just a difficult time. Now for this one, again, I used pan pastels for my background, and I used the Get Well Soon sentiment, another staple that I pull out time and time again to create a Get Well Soon card. And here's what that one looks like. I love the fonts on both the Difficult Time and the Get Well Soon sets, and they go so well with this new stamp called In the Meadow. And then finally, I created another one using pan pastels. This one is more meadow-like, and I think it goes really well with the name of this stamp, which is In the Meadow. And the sentiment says, "May your day bloom with happiness." Now that comes from a previously released stamp set called In Full Bloom Sentiments set of 6, which there are some awesome sentiments that are part of this, a staple that I pull out time and time again. As a matter of fact, I am going to show you another card that features one of these sentiments. So I am showing you a mix of the new and the old, because when I create, I oftentimes will mix and match together. So that is called In Full Bloom Sentiments set of 6. And I matched that with the new stamp set In the Meadow. Okay. Another gorgeous new background stamp. This one's called Blooming Wildflowers. And I went full on with a very bold palette that I ink blended. This is that color that kind of just punches you in the face. I used Catherine Puller inks, which you can purchase at Technique Junkies. And I did a sunset background. And then I also took a sentiment from In Full Bloom Sentiments that says live life in full bloom. And I thought that really matched very well with the mood I was going for this card. Here it is. It's got that beautiful scripty font. By the way, my background, I heat embossed the flowers with black embossing powder. And I also heat embossed my sentiment. I just love these bright colors with the black card and the black matte layer behind the sentiment. I really think that just is so vibrant. This is one of my favorite cards, I think, ever. And I think I'll be making a lot more of these. And it's all occasion. It could be for a birthday or just thinking of you or just thank you. You can always put a sentiment on the inside for whatever occasion it is that you're celebrating or that you're wanting to send somebody a card regarding. So again, that's Blooming Wildflowers from the new release and In Full Bloom Sentiments set of 6 from a previous release. I do love the floral theme of many of these stamps in this release, but I also love the adorable Basset Hound that's part of this new release. The name of this stamp is Rough Life. The sentiment says, when life gets rough, remember I'm here for you. And the Basset Hound is holding a pair of slippers. So I'll tell you a little bit about how I created this cute card. I colored the Basset Hound using Derwent Inktense colored pencils. Of course, you could use any kind of colored pencil or alcohol markers or markers of any type. And I die cut that. And then I used the Paws stencil from A Colorful Life Designs and some of this iZinc Diamond 24 karat glitter paint, which is available through Technique Junkies. These are some very glittery paints. They remind me of a texture paste. And I was able to use a palette knife and just spread that through the stencil. The color that I used was 24 karats gold. The pouch keeps everything nice so that it doesn't dry out. You can use the product on fabric or paper or wood because it is a glitter paint. And it does have a lot of sparkle, but I do know that Pat at Technique Junkies also sells the iZinc Ice, which is a lot like this product but doesn't have the glitter in it. It's more a shiny finish. It's really pretty. I don't have any of those, but I hope to get them very soon. So I'm totally hooked on this product. Love the pouch concept. Doesn't take up as much space either as all those jars and pots, right? And minimizes waste and minimizes the chance of the product getting hard. If it gets hard, it's really hard to use. So I can't say enough about how much I love this product. Moving on, let's talk about the Batman t-shirt. This adorable stamp set definitely had me feeling sentimental. Whatever you do today, do it with the confidence of a 4-year-old in a Batman t-shirt. Stay tuned to the end of this video. I'm actually going to make a card with this stamp set. It will be my demonstration project for this unboxing. Normally I do the unboxing live on my channel on the first of the month at 8 o'clock in the evening, but I'm traveling right now. I'm actually at the Allentown StamperCom Stamp and Scrapbook Expo, and I'm actually going to be working at the Technique Junkies booth today. So I'm super excited to have that opportunity, and tomorrow I will be there again and probably checking out all the different booths and all the different vendors that are there and supporting those small businesses. And I'll be there with Nancy from Nancy Stamps. So if you're in the Allentown area, please check it out. It's called StamperCon. Let's just put Batman aside for now. We'll go visit that again at the end of this video. How many of you have a sarcastic sense of humor? Technique Junkies has some fantastic, witty, humorous stamps, and this one is awesome. It says, I'm fluent in 3 languages, English, sarcasm, and profanity. That is so funny. Love this funny sentiment. Didn't get a chance to play with it yet. Will be creating with it in the future during the month of April. Yeah, so if you're new to my channel, please subscribe so that you get notified of when I have my future videos posted to my channel so that you don't miss out on the opportunity to see me create with this. I also have a blog and do posting on social media such as Facebook and Instagram, and I'll have all that linked below in my description box. Okay, moving on to another fantastic new sentiment. This one's called Lemons, and it says, if life gives you lemons, squirt someone in the eye. Another funny sentiment. Technique Junkies is well known for those witty, humorous sentiments. This one is called Between Coffee and Wine. Life is what happens between coffee and wine. Yes, there are days when that is very true. You want to pick that one up for all your girlfriend cards. This one says, she believed she could, but she was tired. That's a real gem of a little sentiment. Now we have a beautiful background called Boho Dots Background. This one has all kinds of beautiful swishy movement to it. It just looks like it's flowing on the paper. And I did stamp this out. I didn't get a chance to finish the cards yet. I do like how they turned out so far with those being stamped. Another snarky, it says, if you think it can't be done, ask a woman. That is fantastic. You can even put those two together. They would make a great card. A lot of these new sentiments would look really nice with the new boho dots background. Technic Junkies has a nice variety of background stamps on their website, a nice variety of sentiments. Okay, now that I've walked you through the fantastic new release, let's create a card using the brand new stamp that features the Batman t-shirt sentiment. I'm using VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. I'm using my domed foam blending tool, and I'm just blending this ink onto a bright yellow piece of cardstock. And the stencil I'm using is called Bats, and it is from A Colorful Life Designs. I will speed this up and for the sake of time. You could use any black ink. I wanted something that was really dark, so I chose the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. It's a nice dark pigment ink. I am going to make sure I clean my stencil off right away because pigment ink, it sticks a little bit more than a dye-based ink, but it does wash off if you take it to the sink right away. Now I'm using my Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station to hold that stencil in place with those magnets, and that is a piece of Teflon baking sheet that my card stock is sitting upon so it doesn't slip around. All right, so now that we have our fantastic background, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And again, I'm using VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. I want a nice dark stamped sentiment image so that I can create my card with this stamp called Batman T-shirt. Again, the sentiment says, whatever you do today, do it with the confidence of a 4-year-old in a Batman T-shirt. So this one kind of pulled at my heartstrings a little bit because when Jacob was 4, my son, he actually did have a Batman themed birthday. And he had this cute little mask and a little cape. Just was so adorable. I wish I could have found a photo of him. I don't know. I have it stored on one of my many backup hard drives. But I think what makes me so sentimental about it was that my mother-in-law was in the hospital. She was diagnosed with leukemia, and she was in Pittsburgh at a hospital, and she was going through a pretty rough patch. And my son Jacob got to wear his Batman costume to the hospital, and it just made everybody's day to see a little kid dressed up for Halloween, because it was around Halloween time that she was in the hospital at that time. And we did visit her, and it really cheered her up to see her little 4-year-old nephew wearing his Batman t-shirt and cape and mask and other gear. I think he had gloves on. So much fun. Such a great memory. I did take a picture of it, but I said I couldn't find it in time to show it on my video. All right. So I've got my bright yellow background with the bats. I die cut a piece of navy blue card stock with an oval die to create the emblem, the signature Batman sort of oval emblem. And then the sentiment I just stamped again with that VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, and I'm popping it up with some foam tape to give it some dimension. Okay, next I'll use my reverse tweezers to get a nice grip on this sentiment panel, which I die cut with a square die. So I'm putting the square sentiment inside the oval emblem, and then I'll put that on top of the bright yellow background made with the bats stencil. So just a reminder, as I wrap up my video, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. What do you think about the new release from Technique Junkies? And don't forget that new release stamps are 15% off now through April the 8th. All other items are 10% off using my discount code TJ10Tracy. That's TJ, the number 10, TRACY. The new release stamps automatically will be discounted when you put them in your shopping cart, but to get my discount, you need to type in TJ10Tracy and tell them that Tracy Schultz sent you, please. So here's what it looks like, my finished card. Oh, and one more thing. I will have another video that airs tonight on my channel at 8 o'clock. It will be a premiere. I will be creating a card showing the new cards off and chatting with you live because it will be a premiere video. That's tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on my channel. I can't wait to see you there. Thanks so much. Have a hopeful day. Bye-bye.